gentle listener, and welcome to Nocturnal Transmissions, the fortnightly podcast that brings you dark tales, both old and new, performed by voice artist Kristin Holland. We interrupt this episode for a brief announcement. This is a Patreon subscriber exclusive episode. Nevertheless, we will still be sharing this little taster, as it were, with you, our unsubscribed friends of the podcast. If you wish to hear this and our other Patreon exclusive episodes in their entirety, just visit patreon.com/nocturnal transmissions. All right, on with the show. Now, before we get to our current tale of terror, let's introduce our new acolytes. Chon Chon, Darren Dorr, J.D. Cook, Matt Ruprecht, and the Doctor. Welcome, one and all. This episode, we're featuring a tale that was, as a matter of fact, suggested by one of our acolytes, Carly S. She chose very wisely. A traditional Japanese story of uncanny unpleasantness, preserved for posterity by Lafcadio Hearn. Yes, you may recall we featured his translation of Yuki Onna last Halloween. I think it's high time we again delved into his treasure trove of ghost stories. Nocturnal Transmissions is proud to present Of a Promise Broken by Lafcadio Hearn.
I am not afraid to die, said the dying wife. There is only one thing that troubles me now. I wish that I could know who will take my place in this house.
My dear one, answered the sorrowing husband, nobody shall ever take your place in my home. I will never marry again. At the time that he said this, he was speaking out of his heart, for he loved the woman whom he was about to lose. On the faith of a samurai? She questioned with a feeble smile. On the faith of a samurai, he responded, stroking the pale, thin face.
Then, my dear one, she said, you will let me be buried in the garden, will you not? Near those plum trees that we planted at the further end. I wanted long ago to ask this, but I thought that if you were to marry again, you would not like to have my grave so near you. Now you have promised that no other woman shall take my place, so I need not hesitate to speak of my wish. I want so much to be buried in the garden. I think that in the garden I should sometimes hear your voice, and that I should still be able to see the flowers in the spring.
It shall be as you wish, he answered. But do not speak now of burial. You are not so ill that we have lost all hope.
I have,
she returned.
I shall die this morning. But you will bury me in the garden?
Yes, he said, under the shade of the plum trees that we planted, and you shall have a beautiful tomb there.
And will you give me a little bell?
Bell?
Yes. I want you to put a little bell in the coffin, such a little bell as the Buddhist pilgrims carry. Shall I have it?
you shall have the little bell. And anything else that you wish.
I do not wish for anything else, she said. My dear one, you have been very good to me, always. Now I can die. Happy.
Then she closed her eyes and died, as easily as a tired child falls asleep. She looked beautiful when she was dead, and there was a smile upon her face. Well, there ends our little teaser, I'm afraid. If you would like to hear the rest of this story and our other Patreon-exclusive episodes, just join up on our Patreon page as a minion, acolyte, or cohort. The choice is yours. Normal services will be resumed in a fortnight's time. We look forward to seeing you then, gentle listener.